An accident occurred not too long ago at Montrose involving three vans. According to a news site, there are some fatalities. No exact number. So people have died. People have also been injured.
Which news site was this?
It's on One News, Searchlight, Eyewitness News. Those are the three I've seen so far. Along with
All right, let me go to Searchlight and see.
One News said that they can confirm that there are fatalities, but they're not able to confirm the exact number. This is heavy.
When did this happen? This happened. Oh, it was raining. And it was raining as well.
Yeah.
All right, the video. So, all right. So I'm looking at the Searchlight page on Facebook. So there is a video there, and the road is actually wet. Didn't realize it was raining. So.
If you check One News, you'll see the picture of the van before they seem to have pulled it down.
All right, so I'm actually looking.
Somebody said one site said no fatalities. Okay, well, by the end of the day, we will know.
Yeah, this is. All right, so I guess to confirm, there was a vehicular accident. In terms of the details of it, we would bring that information to you when we have confirmed information. All right. In the interim, I suppose persons who wish to stay informed or stay in tune, you can check the multiple sites that are there on social media. But please as well note I want to tell you, await the information that's coming from the police, right? To be able to confirm exactly what has happened in terms of the extent of what has occurred. Wait on that information or the update from the police, okay? But there is video evidence to show that there was an accident, and the extent of it, we would have to await that information, okay? So if persons who were who were involved in the accident, or even those who witnessed the accident, it cannot be an easy one at this time for many of you, all right? So, I don't even want to go down into a particular thing, but it's one of these things where you leave home, you're not sure if you're making it back.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you're making it back in the same way in which you left home.
And the thing is, too, some people send their children. Some children are off to school by themselves, catching van.
And it's always also the reliance of your life in the hands of other persons.
Yes,
right?
So I would encourage you at this time, listen, if you're in a van and they're speeding too much, now we don't know what's the cause of the accident, right? But I'm telling you now, because we're mentioning leaving our lives in the hands of these drivers. If you're in a van and you don't like what's going on, you don't like how the driver is operating, you just simply get out. They're going to cost, some people may cost you, other passengers may even cost you as well, but you consider your safety and you get out.
Yeah, I always think that there are too many times that we leave things up to the drivers and, conductors, because sometimes it seems like the conductors is the ones who control the van more than anybody else, right? But I think that there are many times when I see things that happen on the road and I actually blame the passengers. Because they do have a level of control in terms of being able to, if they collectively voice and stand their ground, then many of the drivers would buck up, right? Many of them would actually buck up and do better. But there are also instances when I see, and of course, this is not in direct conversation with what has happened in this particular incident this morning, because we don't know the details, right? I'm just speaking generally here. But, there are instances when you see that, the passengers, they while up the drivers, especially the younger they are, especially if it's a van full of school children, they while up the drivers to the extent where, you're going too slow, driver turning up the music very loud. So sometimes even, let's say an oncoming vehicle is approaching, they may not hear warning signs or warning songs because of the fact that within the van themselves, the music is too loud, right? Yeah. But sometimes you see Like the other day, I almost got into an accident because a passenger sent out their hand. The van stopped suddenly. Now I'm there thinking, listen, you should know better as the driver than to stop suddenly. So I had to start and stop. The vehicle behind me had to start and stop at a funny angle, and it's just a whole chain reaction that sometimes tends to happen.
Yeah.
All right, Joshua, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Joshua, where have you been all morning?
I was. It's quite a task hoisting 20 flags every morning. So
Okay.
I was listening to you guys, but I couldn't watch you because I'm a recovering fornicator. At present, I only have one phone.
Oh, fornicator, Joshua. I hate saying, but this, you're not married, man. I realize. Fornicator. All right, Joshua, yes.
Yes, but that will be healed tomorrow because somebody actually gave me a $1,300 phone. So I will be in touch with you guys. And I send you some, I have these monarch butterflies around the house. I sent you a short video clip of one that was just like inches away from me. I just sent it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's me again. And when Mr. Weeks comes on, I'm going to give him another bit of homework. Please give us, Mr. Weeks, a definition of an accident. Because I hear quite often in St. Vincent, like the one this morning, you guys are saying it's an accident. Mr. Weeks, I'm $2 short. Mr. Weeks, I'm not too smart. I'm like a $3 bill, as James is a $3 bill. Could you please give me the definition of an accident? You guys have a great day.
All right, you as well, Joshua. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's rough, right? It's rough because when I think of, even though I drive a vehicle and I want to think that I am in control of that vehicle, the thing of it is that once you use the roads, you are not in as much full control as you would like to be, because many of the things that happen can be as a result of the actions of other persons.
Yes.
Pedestrians,
Yes.
Those on foot, as well as those driving other vehicles as well. All right. So,
and I was gonna say, when you talked about the incident where you had to stop suddenly and the person behind you had to also stop suddenly, this is why you are encouraged to drive within the speed limit, not be speeding. Because if you guys were speeding, you may have all collided. Because if somebody stops so suddenly, you may not. But if you're not able to, you mash the brakes in time, you might be too close. Sometimes people drive really close up under each other. And that's how an accident could have happened. Somebody makes a sudden stop. You're not able to react properly in time. And, you stop the vehicle. But
you made the point
collided.
of driving within the speed limit. No, I did my driver's test years ago. And I can't even say what is the speed limit supposed to be.
Either, so.
I know that they're in Kingstown. I think in front of where OMS used to be, across where OT is. If I'm not mistaken, there was a sign there that has the speed limit for Kingstown, right? I only happen to remember seeing it must be last year, so I'm not even sure if it's still there. But when you're driving along roads that are outside Kingstown as well, I don't know what the speed limit is, and how do you define what is driving, in a sense, driving too fast? Because for me, what I always say is that I drive at a pace that I can maintain. I also do not drive directly up on the vehicles, right? So if something were to happen, more than likely, I do have enough space for me to be able to stop, right? But in terms of saying driving 20 miles, 40 miles an hour, me personally, I don't think that it's practicable, depending on where you are, especially if the road isn't very busy or very crowded. So maybe that could be tomorrow's traffic tip for whoever officer is listening to us this morning. What are the designated speed limits within, more so outside of the Kingstown area, right? Because, I think one of the other things that lends to a lot of the accidents as well is overconfidence of many drivers.
I feel so too.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a good driver. I've been driving for 40 years. I never get no accident. There are people like that. Yes, I believe that as well.
I think it is a lot of overconfidence. I think that there are many times when I just always try to understand, do persons, the way in which some people drive on the road, I always say it's a wonder we actually don't have more accidents, right? And along with that is that we take so many chances, not me, right? Plenty other people take many chances. You cannot tell if another vehicle is coming around a corner. However, people are going to overtake. Another thing that annoys me so much is you come to a line of traffic. And of course, if there's a line of traffic for whatever reason, if let's say policeman is not there must be a reason why persons are waiting. Why are you going to be in the back and blowing me? What am I supposed to do? I would legit put my hand out and tell people, drive over me, because it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Right? What you're going to do, like all of us are here for a reason. Yes, it is that I suppose that you want to tell whoever is causing the traffic to be held up for them to speed up, but you can't be blowing directly behind me when I am not the one at fault.
Exactly.
So I think it's all of these other things sometimes where you really do have to have a lot of patience to be driving on the road. And it's just being able to leave home in one piece and coming back in one piece, which is why I suppose prayer is very important. All right, Dianna.
I am just still trying to process this thing. I'm thinking as well, we mentioned the officers can speak about the speed limits. I would like to find out what the penalties are for the reckless driving. Does your license get suspended? Does it get taken away if you've committed, let's say, 3 offenses? Do you lose your license? Are you what is it like in the country? I do not know. I would like to know, and I'm sure there are other persons who would like to know as well. So we could probably talk about that as well. I genuinely want to know, because a lot of persons, each time we have an accident, now normally we don't know the reason for the accident, but a lot of times when accidents occur, persons would say the license should be taken away. Persons should have, some sort of thing in place. I don't know what is in place, so I would like to be educated on that. I don't know what is in place. I don't know what can happen. So I would like to know that as well.
Yeah. So just a reminder to everybody again, the morning has already started off to be a difficult one, given the news that we've heard this morning. So just want to urge and to remind everybody to please be cautious on the roads, especially when the roads are wet. Many times there is oil already on the surface of the roads. You're not always going to see it. Sometimes you do see it when it rains, but just drive carefully, right? If you're done late, you can't be late twice. If your boss going to pull you off for being late, you're going to get it anyway. All right. So just be safe. All right. Be safe, everybody.
Parents,
and go ahead.
Parents, talk to your children. Encourage them to ride. For those that have to catch vans by themselves, encourage them to ride with people that drive carefully. We just call them the old vans. Now, young people don't like to ride old van. I have a little child there, and his hot van he like loud and fast. That is what he likes, and I'm always speaking to him. So
sounds like every parent actually.
Encourage them, let them know that the old van might look old to you and your friends, but consider your safety. Explain to them why. Don't just tell them don't ride such and such or ride such and such. Explain to them why. Listen, if you have to find graphic images to show them. If you have to scare them into practicing the safety, I would say do it.
Yeah.
If it's not one way, as we just say, by the hook or by the crook.
But you see, when you're young, you're invincible. So you feel invincible, because I remember, like, when I was going to college over the time, I'm going to just say this one thing quickly. When you're going to college and we're taking these vans, you're sitting down in each other's lap because none leaving the next, and then looking back on it, it's like, no, that wasn't the wisest, So I do know that as a young person, when you are young, you're not going to see the dangers. And many times that your parents could preach till they blew in the face, they're not going to see it. But sometimes just keep reminding them. Keep reminding them, as Dianna said, maybe you might need to show graphic images of what can happen sort of hit it home to them, but we just need to do our part, right? Pedestrians, you're not off the hook, but we're going to wrap this up at this time, okay? So the time here in SVG, it is 9:02, and it's time for us to jump into today's ECCB currency exchange rates.
99.